Hey, Big V, Verl Workman here, talking teams. So what is the shifting market have to do with you, and how does it affect you? We think about threats that are happening in the marketplace right now, and as real estate agents, we have two options. The first one is we can pull back and pause and we can wait, or we can lean into the problems and we can find ways to use the shifting market and the conditions in the market to create an opportunity for us. So what are you gonna do? I'd like to give you some ideas or some thoughts today that will help you message differently to the shifting market. You see, threats that happen in the market are emotional triggers for people that cause them to pull back and to pause. When I hear a threat, I don't think, oh no, there's a threat. When I hear a threat, I think, oh yes, how am I gonna message to it? Because I believe that if we message differently than all the other agents that are out there, we give our consumers permission to move forward, and we give them the tools they need to stop feeling stuck and frustrated and move forward being excited and elated about their new real estate transaction. Then we can win in a shifting market. They're not things you should be afraid of. Threats are things you should embrace, be excited about, and message to. So let's talk about threat-based marketing and what it really means. At Workman Success, in conjunction with Master Coach Cleve Gaddis and our unbelievable team, they've put together a series of shift modules that help you message to the marketplace. I'm gonna talk just about some of these shift modules today, and then when I'm done, I'm gonna give you a link where you can download a free shift module. So what is the shift? The shift is the Workman Success system that uses emotional intelligence to move people from a feeling of being stuck to an emotion of moving forward and being excited about what's next. It uses words, dialogues, systems, and tools to be able to keep people moving forward. It's all based on the premise of serve regardless of opportunity. When the market shifts, when there's threats in the marketplace, we don't just message to it, we give real solutions and real tools to consumers that will help them move forward, whether they use us or not. I want you to think about that concept. If you have something that's so good that will help somebody buy a home or sell a home when they didn't think it was possible, and you shared it with everybody you knew, how would you feel at the end of each day? Even if you didn't sell a house, you would feel like you made a difference in someone's life. And I promise if you do enough serving, there will be plenty of sales opportunities in the process. So let me share with you just a few of the shift module titles and topics and themes that back them up. The first one we call is the river of real estate. It sets the whole premise for everything we do in shift. The river of real estate says that people buy and sell houses because of life events that occur. In the river of real estate, just like with every other shift module, there's first a story about an agent who had a problem, a consumer who had a threat and wasn't willing to move forward. How the agent realized that by using a system or tool or messaging, they were able to move that client to the next level, and the script and dialogue on how to do it. With the river of real estate, we give you the ability to figure out how many real estate transactions are going to be happening in your market. Real estate continues to happen even in rising interest rates. And if you understand the river of real estate, when the threat occurs, you simply say to the consumer, oh, I know how frustrating that can be. Have you heard about the river of real estate? And then we give you the entire dialogue. Another shift module is the interest rate offset program, and you've heard me talk about that in previous videos. It's where we use the difference of the interest rate from where it was when they first came in the market to where it is today at a higher level, and we calculate the difference over the next 7 years. The difference might be $30,000. Once I understand the difference of buying today versus when I first came in the market, the agent then goes out to the marketplace and does everything they can to offset as much of that as possible. It's really interesting. In places like Utah, we have using the interest rate offset program, we found that there's builder incentives. The Utah Housing now has an incentive for first-time home buyers that use new construction of $20,000. By combining resources and programs that are out there, oftentimes we can offset all of it, if not more, during the negotiation process. But you have to be aware that there is a system. We call it the interest rate offset system. One of the cool things when you're doing threat-based marketing is to make sure that you utilize proprietary language that gives your system or process a name that people can remember and use. Here's the next one. Number 3, we call it the discount point reduction. It basically teaches you how to talk about discount point reduction and how to manage it, how to message it to your client so they know there's a way to get into a home with a lower lower rate. One of my favorite shift modules is the new construction advantage. We could talk about this for the entire time we have on the video today, but there are so many builders out there that overbuilt because of the frenzy that happened during COVID. And now they have all this pressure from their investors to move and change and sell their inventory. So they're offering all kinds of incentives. In the new Construction Advantage program, we give you a list of all the things you can ask for and ways to negotiate with builders to get the most when you're negotiating on behalf of your buyer. It's called the new Construction Advantage. The next shift module is one of my favorites. It's called the Verified Contingency Sell Program. And I want you to think about that. You have a house on the market, a buyer comes in, and they offer to buy your home contingent upon their house selling. Well, as an agent, one of the things that we offer to all of our sellers is a verified contingency sell program. It's a process that we put that buyer's offer and that buyer through to verify that they have a high likelihood of moving that property. I know most agents do something like that or they talk about it, but they don't have a system for it. We created a system, we created a checklist of the things that we do. On the other side of the verified contingency sell program, we actually give the buyer the tools they need when they present an offer contingent upon the sale of their home with the resources to give the seller confidence that their offer is worthy of accepting. Having systems and tools to help your clients message into the changing market is a game changer because it allows you to do what? Serve regardless of opportunity. The seller confidence system allows us to put houses on the market and give the seller the confidence that we have the marketing and the tools and the systems to be able to maximize the opportunity. It also creates the opportunity for us to be able to communicate and give market feedback. The seller doesn't dictate the price, nor does the agent, the market does. And with the seller confidence system, we give the seller the confidence that we give them feedback, telling them what the market is doing and what they're willing to pay for that property. It gives them confidence they're going to maximize every opportunity that's available to them as a seller. The threat elimination system is how we create these threat-based modules. The threat elimination system is we break down and we teach you how to identify the threat, identify the story, create yourself a story around it, develop a tool or a resource, give it a name, create a script, and then message it to the consumer. The threat elimination system is a module in Shift that teaches you how to create your own Shift modules. There are literally hundreds of ideas of things that you could talk about today in the shifting market. To buy or not to buy, the call to arms, stop, drop, and save are all different Shift modules that have the ability to move clients from being stuck in today's market to moving forward. It doesn't matter what you choose to do. It matters that you do something different. There are so many people out there that want to buy or sell a home that are waiting for the right message from their real estate agent, their trusted advisor, the person that they know, like, and trust, but they're not getting the right information. Instead, we're popping by with a jar of jam or giving them recipes that we use at our family picnic. People want to do business with people that are experts, that give them tools and resources that will help them move forward. Now, I don't mind an occasional friendly drop by with something that has nothing to do with real estate, but I want to be remembered. I want to be at the front of the mind of the consumer at the moment that threat appears. I want them to think about the system that I've shared with them that eliminates that threat and allows them to move forward. Just for being on this video, I'm going to give you to buy or not to buy, the rent versus own Shift module, the complete story, the calculator, which is complex. It's not simple. It's so cool because it takes into all the considerations on whether or not it makes sense to continuing pay rent or to buy a property. We're going to give you the tools, the resources, the script and the dialogue, and everything you need to go out and start messaging to your market. There's so much opportunity in a market where there's threats if you take advantage of them using the Shift modules. Good luck and get off the sidelines.